You're tuned into Taiwan Grooves. Let's explore the local music scene. Hello and welcome to this episode filled with classical music. Today I am excited to be joined by Gwhyneth Chen, a Taiwanese-American concert pianist. Gwyneth was born in Taiwan and later immigrated to the United States, where she earned both her bachelor's and master's degrees from the Juilliard School. She has performed as a soloist with prestigious orchestras around the world, including the Los Angeles Philharmonic, Hong Kong Philharmonic, and Moscow Radio Symphony. She is widely regarded as one of the foremost pianists of her generation. In our conversation today, we'll discuss how she began playing the piano, her early education, and the level of dedication required for practicing. We will also talk about her most nerve-wracking performance, the connection between music and health, especially her work teaching piano to Alzheimer's patients to promote cognitive benefits, and her achievements including winning a cash prize. Additionally, we'll explore how her relationship with the piano never changed and how she approaches each piece with a beginner's mindset. So without further ado, let's welcome Gwyneth to the studio.
Hi, I'm Gwyneth.
And you are back in Taiwan. Thank you for making the time to come here and talk to me.
Thanks for having me.
A professional pianist. I would like to ask some questions about your past. Did you have members of the family who were musicians and they hoped you would continue the path? Did you pick it up because you liked it? How did it start?
No, actually, until now, I'm still the only musician in the family.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered the piano when I was in kindergarten because the teacher was playing on an upright piano and we had to dance and sing to the music. And I saw the teacher pressing keys and sounds came out. And if her fingers moved faster, there was more sound coming out. And I thought, that's what I want to do.
Wow.
Just pressing the keys and then sounds come out. I didn't know what was going on, but I would stay after school and play anything, just playing with the keys.
Yeah, just exploring the whole instrument. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a wonderful story because usually, people are brought up to it or like kind of forced. But I feel like this is the rightest approach. They absorb it from the environment and then they kind of like develop the curiosity and sense like, I would like to try this. Such a nice, natural and organic way. All right, so that was like that. Now you kind of showed the interest, so I suppose that your parents placed you for class and then you started having fun with it. Did you fall in love with classical music right away?
Actually, that's the beginning stage is very important. My entire musical education was very pleasant. It was a big joy for me. So I started the piano not in Taipei. I was born in Taiwan, but I had grandparents in Hengchun, that's near Kending, that's the very south of Taiwan. So every summer we would go visit my grandmother, and my parents sent me in a cattle cart to my first piano lesson. So I went from Hengchun in the cattle cart to the neighboring town called Checheng. And it was about a 15-minute ride. And I had my first piano lesson with a whole bunch of kids. And all I learned was two notes, do and re. And that's really, really, stuck with me. And I thought, that's all she's going to teach me is do and re, and then what's next? So when I returned to Taipei, my mother sent me to Yamaha piano class, and then there they taught me do re mi. So I didn't have a piano at home, so we had a toy piano, which is like a typewriter, only as big as a typewriter. So every morning at 5:30, I remember so well, I would play the Yamaha school song. And that goes to show you how important it is to practice hard when you're a kid, because until now, even though I never practice that song anymore, but because I played it every morning on that toy piano for 1 hour, until now I can play it anytime.
Oh, so it's in the muscle memory.
Yes.
Wow. So you're hungry for knowledge. The 3 pieces of puzzle weren't enough. See, yeah, that's what I mean, because a lot of musicians that I had here, they usually have a similar thing, like the education. How important was it? Because they were kind of put off from the path, because it was like, you have to play piano. Like after a long day of classes, like you go for music, and then music becomes something that you enjoy, but you have to do. And a lot of people like didn't stuck with it, or they kind of quit, and then they revisit it, or they switch to guitar, bass, whatever. So I'm very happy you had a very positive and joyful adventure with it, like the whole part. Yeah.
Yes, I never quit. Until now, there was not one day that I wanted to quit.
Wow, that's amazing. You moved to the US from Taiwan some time ago, and did you find the whole environment for upcoming pianists to be kind of better or more diverse? Was it different than how things were in Taiwan?
It was definitely very different. First of all, we immigrated to the U.S. when I was 9 years old to Los Angeles. And I had a very good piano teacher in Los Angeles. And he gave me the best piano education in the sense that he emphasized foundation so much that I thought everything was just too easy.
Wow.
Why spend so much time on such easy basic skills? And we spent so much time on it. Maybe the first 2 years I did almost nothing. It was just the basics. And then after about 2 years, he put me in a lot of piano competitions, but he didn't make me feel like they were competitions. That's the most important thing. He just told me, just go up there and play it like it's a concert. So every week he put me in some piano competition. It could be the preliminary round. It could be the final round of a competition. I didn't even know what the competitions were. All I knew was that I had to get ready for stage. Since I was 12 years old, I was always getting ready for stage. So it was a very good rehearsal for me.
Yeah, for
for
sure.
the upcoming career.
Yeah, because it's not just the skill, right? Like a lot of times when you're nervous and when you're not used to performing in public from very young age, it can influence your skill as well, and then kind of you get shaky. And so shout out to your teacher for sure. That's a very smart way to go about it. A question that I think of now: do you still get nervous playing in front of people?
Oh, of course I do.
Really?
And it's a good thing. It's a good thing to get a little bit nervous, not too much,
Right.
because it's anxiety. There were times when I wasn't nervous at all. I was calm, and I didn't play as well.
Oh wow! So it does have
So a little bit of nervous is good. A lot of people ask me that question about stage fright, that they're nervous. I said that's normal. You should be a little bit nervous. Only when you're a little bit nervous, you create magic and you create fireworks from there.
Okay. So the one time you were not nervous, or the certain period, did you think, oh, what's wrong? Something's not right?
That's what I thought. I thought, why am I so calm? Something's wrong. And I'm a little too calm for preparation leading to seeing 2,000 people. So you have to be
Little butterflies
anxious,
there, yeah.
Yeah, and jittery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you recall from the top of your head maybe one performance that kind of you were more than little nervous? Because you have countless performances behind you, and do you remember the one that you were kind of like, oh, this is the biggest, toughest, most important crowd I have played for ever?
Yes, definitely. So I came back to Taiwan just before COVID, so in 2019. When the concert stage in the whole world stopped, Taiwan continued its concerts. So I was stepping in for a lot of foreign artists who didn't want to get quarantined, or they couldn't come to Taiwan. So these stepping in concerts, I was informed of them maybe a month before the concert.
Ooh.
And usually I play one piano concerto at a time, which is okay. If you give me a month, I could prepare almost any piano concerto. But once the biggest challenge came, there was a Russian pianist who was going to come to play 6 piano concertos in 24 hours to make world records. So that included the 5 Rachmaninoff works for piano and orchestra, and Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto No. 1 in 3 concerts, which took place in 24 hours. And the orchestra manager asked me to step in for that, also 1 month before the concert. And I somehow agreed to this challenge. Of course, I felt sorry after I agreed. So that was the biggest challenge. And even before I went on stage, even half an hour before I went on stage, I thought, there's no way I can do this. No way. Because I had too little time to prepare.
Yeah.
And to play 3 concerts in 24 hours. Sometimes you just don't know how you're going to conquer this challenge.
Well, how did you end up doing then?
So somehow there has to be, if you want to be a high performer, you need some kind of switch in you. And that switch somehow has to be turned on 30 minutes prior to the concert. If you don't turn it on, you're in trouble.
So you found the switch just right.
Yeah, somehow I found the switch. I turn it on and I play the concerts, the piano concertos, one after another. And I thought I did okay.
Wow. Wow. That's really great. I'm getting nervous just hearing that. Okay, little back to your past. So different education, US, you had more opportunities. You found the right person to guide you through.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think of, well, I guess not, because you were in love with piano. You didn't thought of expanding your vocabulary with different instruments, right? You wanted to stick with piano. That's what you loved. You didn't want to go to bass, drums, or anything else. You just wanted to...
No, but when I started piano, I also learned the cello just for 2 years. And then when I went to the US, I played only the piano. No, because the piano has such a big repertoire. There are more than 1,000 pieces. So even until now, I'm still learning new repertoire. So there's a lot to learn. And as a pianist, you have to practice a lot because you're playing 2 hands at the same time. And both hands are playing different things, completely different things simultaneously. So it's a lot of work.
Yes, I mean... I play the guitar, but I still find piano to be the most beautiful instrument on earth. It's just the variety you have with it, whether it's electronic synthesizers or organ in church or something, or grand piano. It's just incredible. You mentioned practicing a lot. To a non-professional musician or anybody listening, what is a lot? How much do people practice on the top level per day, let's say?
Okay, it's normal for a pianist to practice 6 to 8 hours a day. That's very normal.
Wow. Like, okay, so the whole day, you kind of like divide it, take some breaks just to eat and...
Okay, so this is language among pianists. We often ask, so how much have you done today? Or how are you doing your 8 hours? And they would say, 3 plus 3 plus 2, so we would know, okay, so that's 3 hours in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, and 2 in the evening. So that's how we divided our practice time. But of course, it's a lot of work, but the hard work is not only practicing 8 hours a day, but it's practicing every day of your life. So
that's what I mean, right?
Perseverance is very important in this line of work.
Right. Because after a normal job, you go home, you do different stuff. But I feel like piano occupies the mind even after you have stopped.
And to practice 8 hours, you need 10 hours because you have to take a break.
Correct.
Otherwise, you injure your hands. And of course, you can get away with less practice. For example, you can also practice just 2 to 3 hours and you can still play concerts and thinking that no one will know the difference.
Well, I wouldn't.
But a lot of people say that. Yeah. A lot of people say that they won't know the difference. If you play a wrong note or if you don't play as well, if you're not completely into the music, taking music to the highest spiritual level, we don't know. We can't tell the difference. You may not be able to tell the difference. But if the artist is at his or her peak, the audience knows. They always know because they're moved by the performance.
Yeah, that's beautifully put. In order to not injure your hands, do you guys have any specific practices or something that you should avoid or that you should do in order to keep hands as flexible and motion?
Yes, I have a very particular piano gong fu.
So that has to be like a precise warm-up routine.
Well, it's not really a routine, but it's more in the mind. But the ultimate goal is to practice until your tendons are like steel. And, the piano is actually a percussive instrument. The keys are hard, but because they're hard, you need to use a lot of energy to play. So you have to practice until the keys feel like air. So like you're playing air piano. If you're playing air piano, you will never injure your hands. And if you have tendons and hands of steel, you also don't injure your hands. But the process of cultivating this kind of gongfu is quite dangerous. It's like practicing or acquiring any kind of gongfu.
So it doesn't just come with time. It's something you have to do.
Of course, you have to practice a lot.
Right.
It comes with time, but it's also in the mind because you have to control how much muscle you're building.
I never thought of it that way. Because with guitar, it hurts in the beginning.
Then you take a break, and then
later,
the next session you push it a little more.
Right.
Then you take a break. Then you push it a little more, and you can't. During the whole process, you can't take a break.
It's like a muscle building process or something, right?
But it's important if you want to play big repertoire, heavy repertoire.
Wow, so fascinating. Another question regarding this, like, okay, let's say you have those 8 hours practicing or 3 hours if you can, but if you have a concert coming up, will you just practice what's coming up? Or will you do different runs, different songs, just something for fun, like anything that keep your hands going? Or will you particularly focus on every single part until you have it down, like effortlessly?
Pianists are very obsessive and they practice only that piece.
Only that piece, okay.
But we should practice other pieces also.
Just like to take a break, play some Bruno Mars or
play something else. But usually we practice only that piece because we feel so insecure. Maybe this will go wrong. Oh, let me do it 2 more times, maybe 3 more times, and then the day's over.
Right, I'm thinking if you practice 8 hours and then there's a little nagging voice saying like, have we practiced this enough,
No, it's never enough.
It's never
because maybe by the 6th hour or usually on the 7th hour, you think to yourself, oh, but I haven't covered Bach. I haven't covered Scriabin. I forgot to practice Chopin. You always forget to practice something.
Right. Well, yeah, so it's not only muscles that it takes, it's really like mind of steel. Like you really have to be, as you said, perseverance is really important. Okay, now there's one question I wrote. Besides classical music, do you also like to listen or play maybe some pop, jazz, whenever you don't have a concert coming up, just something you're exploring, other genres for your own amusement or entertainment?
I actually play some pop songs, like not just American pop songs, but Japanese, Taiwanese, and American. Because since 3 years ago, I started teaching piano to Alzheimer's patients, and I have to teach it to them. That's usually what they play. So I write it out for them in simplified version. And I wrote out 40 songs for them. So that's also in my repertoire because I have to demonstrate. To teach them, I demonstrate first or I accompany them.
Yes.
So that's my new repertoire.
That's really beautiful because I wrote the question here and I was going to ask, like, how do you come up to start this project? Did somebody suggest that you could do that? Did somebody looked for a person to do this? Like, how did you connect these two?
Some doctors suggested that moving the fingers and stimulating the fingertips,
there's healing quality to it.
Not only prevent, but will cure Alzheimer's. But they needed a very, very patient pianist who's willing to do this. So I thought, since I'm staying in Taiwan for a couple of years, so I thought I would try. And I found this institution in Beitou, which is under the management of Taipei Veterans Hospital, Rongzong Yiyuan. So we started, and at first I thought maybe it's good that they're listening to some music because I thought they could never learn it. I mean, how do you teach an Alzheimer's patient? You show them once, not only do they lack memory, they lack cognitive function.
Yeah.
And they can't comprehend do, re, mi. Of course, they can't remember it because they can't comprehend it. So I tried many, many different ways. It took me 8 months just to teach them do, re, mi. Finally, they learned it. And it took us about 10,000 times of practice. to learn just do, re, mi alone. And then, of course, the entire scale. And now they can all play songs, Taiwanese, Japanese old songs, and some Beatles songs. And some of them even play two hands.
Wow.
So it's really incredible.
So it really works. Like the music does heal. This is the concrete proof.
And one of them graduated from this class, meaning she no longer has Alzheimer's. Because she was practicing so much, and she plays the piano very well now. So they all play the songs very well. And they give concerts now, piano concerts, every 3 months. And they all have a big repertoire of 30 songs.
Yeah, there you go.
Each one of them can play 30 songs.
That's amazing. This should be funded. This should be on the headlines.
It's amazing. I think each one of them is a miracle in themselves.
Whoever's hearing this, if you have a family member or you yourself are afraid of that, just pick up an instrument, learn do, re, mi. It's gonna go a long way, right? Let's
play the piano.
Yeah. All right, so some pop songs, Taiwanese, Japanese, anything. Funny question that I wrote: if you weren't a professional pianist, what do you think? What road would you take?
If I weren't.
Yeah, if you weren't, like if you didn't like it anymore, or if you weren't at the top level, you would just like, the piano, but you kind of want maybe film scoring, maybe you want to be a teacher of piano, or completely different. Have you ever thought, just entertain the idea of what would you do?
I would still do music and health. That's what I would do.
Now that you said 2023, you started this project?
Since 2023.
There's no possible better answer than that. Okay, you have won a bunch of prizes. Cash prize in 1993, I see. Tchaikovsky International Piano Competition in Russia. Junior high and senior high competitions in the US. Amazing. I could go on and on. Now, when you won the biggest cash prize in piano competition history, how did you feel? Do you still remember what went through your head?
I remember vividly. I couldn't believe I won because it was such a big prize.
Yeah.
And I remember the day when we discovered this competition at the Juilliard School. A whole bunch of my classmates they had the application in their hands, and they were all shouting, $100,000, $100,000. I'm like, what's $100,000? They said, the Evil Poker Village piano competition is offering $100,000 for the first prize winner. And I was like, oh, no way, no. And then I thought maybe I'll because it's in Los Angeles, which is my hometown. So I thought maybe I'll do it for fun. Return to LA, play in Pasadena. It took place in Pasadena. It'll be fun. And a lot of my friends will be in the audience, and it's fun to visit some friends again. And so I applied. And the competition took only 40 contestants into the live competition.
So they checked all your portfolio, your performances, your previous stuff?
At the time, 1993, I sent in a cassette tape. I still remember, of the Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto No. 3.
Okay,
I remember
that was your
so well.
choice. Okay.
Yeah. So I passed to the live competition, and the competition took 3 weeks. It was not totally fun, but it was fun that I won the competition, and I got, as a prize, I got to have a concert tour in Croatia.
Oh,
that part was fun.
Yeah, of course. On top of what you won, that's a good deal. Did you go still with the same piece for live competition?
No, because for the cassette tape, for the screening round, I sent in the piano concerto, but the competition was only solo piano.
Only solo piano?
Only solo piano. So I play solo in every round.
Okay. No accompaniment whatsoever. Okay. Wow. Great. One question I have, and I kind of ask it to a lot of people who are musicians. Did your relationship with the instrument change ever since you were a child to a grown-up? Because, once you start competing and make it into your livelihood, there's more elements that come in, and it's not just a joyful do, re, mi anymore, but there's a lot of other things you have to consider. But you said you never quit and you never felt like quitting, so I guess your relationship with piano never changed and you were just in love with it as much as when you were young?
I have to say that it didn't change much. Yeah,
That's
it
good.
really didn't. I think it's so important to, of course, you need a lot of luck in this career because it's not a 9-to-5 job. You don't get a steady monthly salary.
Yeah.
So you really need a lot of luck on top of playing well. But it's so important to keep your curiosity in life so that the piano, even though I've lived with the piano all my life, it's still fresh to me every day. In the music I play, I go through intensive training when I'm training for a concert, preparing for a concert, and I'm playing concerts all the time. So it's intensive training every day. But you have to train like you have never played this piece, like you have never played a concert, like you're such a loser. Then it becomes fun because it's fresh to you. But if you train like, oh, this is something I've been doing all my life, I play this piece a million times, it becomes routine, then it's actually not so much fun.
Oh, that's a beautiful way to put it. Words of wisdom, really, for anything. If you approach it with a beginner's mind, then you will yield more benefits. And that's all the time we have for today, but join us next week for our continuation of the conversation about classical music, piano, and Gwyneth's favorite pieces. Thank you for tuning in, and have a lovely week. Bye-bye.